Welcome to the Pipnotic Symposium for the 2nd of October 2019. Today we're going to run through a bunch of pairs and have a look and see what we can see. If we have a look here starting at the dollar Swiss franc, we can see that price just poked into the beginning of the sell zone. As you can see just here, the beginning of the sell zone was here. Price poked into it. And now we've seen a bit of a retracement. The next area that we could look to consider is from around here and the high. I would probably go from the highs here and up. I'm just going to plop that one in there. Just go from the high and then do twice the size for the stop. So around here, just going to put on a different tool quickly. Okay, so we have here something like that, and this is interesting because we had this really nice release, and then price, the slingshot was pulled back to here, and then it dumped away. Okay, so the supply required, rather responsible for causing price to move so aggressively away, starts at about the 1.01 area. So we'll put that trade in there. Let's form micro lots, a little baby. Sell, and we're going to sell at the 1, so I get this .0097. Oh, what's going on there? 1. Got to put the number locks on. Screw that. Let's use this old one. Come on, you blasted thing. 1.0097. Just going to plop that in there. First of all, we're going to see when this is going to, after a week, fine. Plop that in there. And so now we should plop in the stop and the target. There it is, pretty far away from price. Boom, put that there. Put this there. I'll move that just like a 2-to-1 for the time being. See what happens. Cool. Let's have a look at the Euro American dollar. Go on the daily chart. What are we doing? Well, we're finally reacting to this weekly, daily demand we can see down here. You can see that we got into the weekly, had a couple of tests, a deeper push, probably some divergence on the smaller time frames, and now price is maybe looking to move higher. Would I be buying? No chance. I would not be buying the euro at all, so I'd still be looking for a place to sell. So let's find one. So if we have a look, so first of all we have to find an area of demand. We have that here. Here's some demand, and this is demand because we had slingshot pullback once, no ammo 2, we fired up, it's been tested once, twice, and now it's gone. So the area that caused price to move through that is up here. This has been tested, but note what we need to do now is we need to find the beginning of the sell zone. So if we look here, this is the pullback, price has already been back here, price has already been back here, so this one we could move, we could put here, okay, and you might even want to go like that, just so we manage to move above that. So I mean, you can see like the beginning of the sell zone is here, so I'd be keen to do this. Because we have such big wicks there, I'll be looking to go down to the smaller time frame and have a closer look in there. Yes, and see now doing this, I would say actually the sell zone is here, so I would be looking to do something like that. Put my stop like this, okay, and maybe even get a little bit more conservative and say, well, actually the green candle is here and the high of that is here, so this makes for a better entry, bit of space for the stop there. So here, that's what we have. So I'm going to put that on. the 113.59 4 microlots. 13.59, 13.59. Put that in there. Cool. And the stop is put there. Put a 1 to 1, 1 to 2 initially. Cool. And we'll leave that in there. Okay. Right. Next. What do we have? Well, we had an area of demand that was taken out. You can see it's still on the chart. Actually, we had the tests from here, so it's actually around there. And the area that took it was here. So you can see we had the pullbacks to this area. So this is this one here. Remember we spoke about this? We spoke about this, and I said, I don't like the looks of that. Even though I said I didn't like the looks of this area, and I still don't. And would I trade it again in the future? I probably would not, and the reason being is because we have to make some objective rules that we can follow, because if I decide to trade this one time but not the next time, well, then it's not very consistent. Okay, so I don't like this. Even though it held 3 times, it doesn't change my opinion on this level, and I don't like this because we had kind of the downward moving a continuation pattern here. It's kind of going down like this, and then it breaks away. I don't like that because this is making the level of liquidity go down. So I wouldn't trade that in the future. But what I do think is interesting is, this area of demand is gone. So buying the beginning of the sell zone above that, and we have that just here. So I would go like this, and I'll mark it off like that, and this is where I would look to sell. Okay, so I'm just gonna, you could probably get away with doing this. Okay, there, so I'm gonna put that in. 0.07. Let's see, 6823. 6823. I'm gonna go 3 like that. Let's see where that puts it. That's good. So we'll put it up here. Good. Go to the bigger time frame. Yeah, that looks about fine. But on this time frame, you can see that we have something that's a little bit more interesting up here. Looking at this, I don't feel like super comfortable with this. But we do have like a kind of a high, a low, a high, and a low, which went below it. So there's certainly going to be some action up here. But what I would do is I'd actually move my entry higher, looking on this time frame, and I'd do something like this. I think I can probably get away with the same position size, more or less. And this I would do because we had the drop, price pullback, drop, pullback, and this one left, and so the edge of it is here, which is roughly where the entry is. Okay, cool. The American dollar, the American dollar, Canadian dollar. So what do we have here? So we have a look here. You can see that we have some areas above price, and we have this one below price, but I'm thinking this is probably going to wriggle lower, just because we have like the major swings. Oops, the major swings are going lower. So this is just kind of like I think. Okay, so let's have a look. So I'd probably be looking for a place to sell. We do have this. I like this up here. Let's see what it looks like on the small time frame. That's a pretty clear area. I like this one here. I like that we got to find some demand. And we had actually probably daily demand there. Where are we? Okay, so we had had this here. It's tested, and now it's gone. Okay, the edge, the beginning of the sell zone of the area that's responsible for consuming this is somewhere up here. So where was the slingshot pull back to? You can see right there. And then back up to here. So let's go on the 4 hour and have a look. What do we have here? Here we have this area that was tested once, twice. So this is maybe interesting for us because both times price went flying south. The thing that's difficult with this one is you have this, and you have this, and you have liquidity void here. So, I mean, I don't like that much, so I'd probably feel inclined to do something like this, okay? And this is because putting my entry here, it's been tested 2 times, so price has already been back. Sell zone, and so I'd be inclined to look higher. And looking at this, yeah, I mean, I'd be comfortable selling here. I'd also be pretty comfortable selling here. The beginning of the sell zone for this particular area is pretty close to price. It's about here. Let's draw it. It's about here. So we have a really nice area of supply here, and this area is nice because we managed to move. We had demand here. This one took it. We had another one here. Tested. This one took it. We have another tiny one in here. Tested, and gone. Okay, so the area that's responsible for taking that out is up here. So this is a pretty solid area. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at that. Come on. From here to about there. And then have a look on the hourly chart. What does it look like? On the hourly chart, we have, see, on the hourly chart, it looks a little bit different, doesn't it? It's still looking pretty, I mean, phenomenal dump there. How price kind of, when we had this area here, this is not demand, but it's just like, it's bullish order flows. Okay, test. This area cut through it. The area that's responsible for doing that is here. Accumulation, slingshot was pulled back into it, and it went up to there. Okay, the price came down, went up, went down, moved sideways. Slingshots pull back, and then it went down. So this is where I'd be keen to buy. Hardly. I would not be keen to buy at all. Absolutely not buy. I'd be keen to sell, and so I'd be looking around there. Okay, so I'll do that. I'm going to put that in there. It's 7 micro lots. So 1, 3, 3, 3, 4. I'll plop that in there. Oh, my son went away with school for 3 days. My 12-year-old boy. So that's kind of it's good for him. And like it's cool that he's doing all this cool stuff with his awesome school, and they go away and do some pretty amazing things. And you have to, I mean, we raise our children to be, sorry, I got a bug in my throat, to be independent. But when they, also, if you raise your children to be independent, you can't get angry for them, or you can't like make them feel guilty when they start acting like independent human beings, because essentially they're just doing what you wanted them to do. But at the same time, it's still pretty tough when they go away, I think. Even though it's quieter in the house and there are some added bonuses. So the target will be here, because we had supply, tested, slingshot, pulled back, and this one cut through it. So this is probably where the end of the area. Actually, looking at this, it kind of rings a bell. Maybe we looked at this as well in another video, because I remember talking about this piece there. Okay, cool. Let's have a look at the dollar yen. Let's go to the daily. What's going on? So actually, weekly, what are we doing? So we're reacting. See, like low, lower, lower yet. See, so like moving, finding a new buy zone, and we had a reaction there, and now price is wriggling away, but we do have something up here that's maybe holding price, but we're pretty low. At the same time, we do have prices going down. You can see, so we are kind of wriggling lower, so maybe down here. Okay, feeding into the meat of this area of demand. So we are pretty low though, so we could look to buy. I think we looked at this as well, didn't we, on the last video? Okay, so we have to find a good area. Where's a good area? We have to find something that's been removed. We have this tested, removed by this one. Beginning of the sell zone starts here. So this is roughly where we're at. So the 109.92. So I'm going to plop an order in there. If you want, you could move it up, so you're more up to this area here. And what are the swaps? The swaps are kind of a blow, but let's have a look on the 4-hour so we can refine that. Yeah, so I think we'll probably go to around here, kind of the lows of this area here. I think we'll probably go there. So we'll put that in. Again, it's a game of probabilities. You don't have to win them all, you just have to win most of them. So we've got 4 micro lots. We're going to sell at 110.05. 110.05. Put that in there. Cool, got our stop in there. Okay, so where's our target? Well, our target, I don't really know where it is yet, because we have this here tested. So this is still valid. It's still holding. And so what we need here is we need an area of demand to take this out, because this will tell us where our target will be, but we don't have that yet. So we'll just put 2 to 1 and we'll leave it. Right, pound American dollar. Oh, look at that little beauty. What a nice test there. Cool, let's go to the daily chart. Okay, weekly, we're really low. And let's have a look. So we need to find some demand that's been consumed. Okay, so all these controls on these little headphones, you breathe on one wrong and they start jumping all over the place. Right, let's have a look. So we have, let's mark this off here. Tested, closed, tested. And that's gone. So we have something in here. Okay, fresh, zoom in, 4-hour. Yeah, I don't like this much. Okay, sorry, wrong one. So this one is gone. Okay, so this area has been taken out. There's something up here that did it. So you have to, so that first of all, this one's gone. Goodbye, gone. So now we have this one here, and this is kind of roughly the area where it took it out from below. Price has already been back to the lows here. Nothing there. I'll certainly look higher. And so we have to find. So we have this tested, the area that did it, somewhere here. So here we have demand, which was taken out by supply here. So let's look here, start where we start looking. Zoom in and scroll back. Yeah, so this is where it happened. Didn't have a huge release, but I suppose this is the one that cut away. The slingshot was pulled back to here. But what I would do on this, because we're so close to the top, I would feel more inclined just doing something like this. Like that. So we have kind of high, low, lower, high, cutaway, slingshot, two green candles, boom, boom. Distribution of liquidity, and then price left. So let's have a look on the daily where that is. Yeah, right there. So if you look at that, I mean, that looks, yeah, you know what, I would probably be looking to move higher up into here because of this. The close of this, the low of this body is not within the range of the previous. And these are pretty wicky, so I'd look higher. So I'd probably look up here like so. And you see we have a wick. The low of this candle is not within the range of this candle's body, so I'd go to the smaller time frame. And I'd look for clues. We have that right there. So I'd probably be pretty keen on doing that. Go to the daily. Yeah, so the high of that. That might be pretty interesting. I'm not going to take it, but I'll leave it on there. This is no good. Let's have a look at the intraday stuff. Let's go to the 1 hour. Yeah. Yeah, so we had, this is interesting, we have this 2 times the size. Tested, tested, tested. Gone. Where did it happen? Here. So I'd be keen on doing something like this. Okay. So let's see where we are. Yeah. Okay, so let's have a look. So that is 5 microlots. Pending sell at 124.30. Let's see what happens here. Perfect. So we'll leave that in there. Let's go to the Aussie franc. I had a pretty nice trade on there. Was it yesterday? This little bad boy there. And we found that was that we looked for an area that was being respected. So we're looking for something's being respected. Test, 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 test. Cut through. Okay, so the area of demand was here, which brings our focus to this. So we zoom in, brings our focus to this. We want to take it above this wick, and this is where price came to. Yeah, I think we covered that. That was a pretty nice trade. So what do we have now? Below price. Well, below price, we have, I like this. This is a nice departure. This is okay, but we went here 2 times before, close to it. But this might be an interesting one. I'll mark that off. Let me zoom in a little. It's a little bit too tiny. We'll mark this off just for fun. We'll mark to the below this wick, this pullback. But I would be more interested in going from the lows down to here, minus a few pips. That would be a more interesting area. Okay, here, I think. Positive swaps, not that big of a deal. Yeah, so we have that. And looking on this time frame, I would probably look to go deeper in this, but we'll leave this on and we'll watch that. I'm thinking we'll probably have a bit of a bounce here. And probably a bit of a bounce. I'm going to save profile in the symposium. So we can come back to these and watch these. Okay, let's go to the Aussie yen. Aussie yen was going on the daily chart. And the weekly, we're pretty low. We're really low. Okay, so we have this, which is interesting. We're getting close. We're very low, very, very low. We're kind of beginning of the buy zone, which we've already tested. We have kind of a short-term bias to the to the upside because of that. I mean, we don't, if you look at the chart, we don't have that. You can see we're moving down. We're going lower, lower, lower. Okay, you see we're lower, we're moving below all of these, but due to the fact that we have moved into the, we've already moved into the edge of the buy zone short term, we're probably going to attract some buyers, and we did that as soon as we moved past this. Okay, and price poked in there. And so we have to find an area that we might think would be interesting to buy at, because we've experienced this, we've entered the buy zone. We want deep retracements, and you can see that price went up here. We had some sideways price movement here. We tested this daily area right here, tested it nicely about 2 weeks ago. Now we're moving away, and there's nothing in here, but we had a really sharp release. Okay, so if we mark off the low of that candle, go here and have a look at it, it's right around here. So this is where the whole thing originated from. But this would make me a little bit nervous, so I'd be keen to buy lower from around the 7100-ish area. Okay, and I'd also maybe look to start to sell a little bit, like shorter term, but I wouldn't do that until we get past these highs. And yes, so we had some supply tested, gone. The green candle that did it, the low of it is there. We take maybe, I don't know, let's take from here, I don't know, like that. Tested it, and now this one's gone. The candle that did it is this one. You go to the high of that, it's here. So it brings our attention to this area here, which has been tested. This one hasn't, but this one below has. So we do have something that might happen there. We'll leave that on there. Around here, 73.38. Let's see what happens when price gets there, and above that we have this. Okay, so okay, we'll do one more. I've seen the euro Norwegian being discussed a lot in the room. What's going on? Oh, this is high. This is really high. Does that mean you can't buy it? No, it doesn't, but it means that you have to be more defensive in your management of the trade. We had some highs, prices starting to break down. So we need to do that thing again where we find the areas responsible for doing damage. We have this one here, tested 2 times, then it was removed. So the candle that did it, the low of the candle that did it is here, the low is there. We'll just take it down to the next candle like so. So it's tested almost once, twice, and now this one's gone. The candle that took this one out, or the origin of the move that took this one out, is here. Okay, the big push is originated from here. You see this? I say big push because we have gapping from here. So this would go to here. Okay. Now this has been tested. Now price is having another go. What does that mean? That means the sell zone starts here now. Go to the 4 hour and have a closer look. Starts there. And actually I like this up here. We've also, I remember looking at this pair as well. So we also, so we have this test, gone. Price comes up to the area, to the high of the wicks that move through here, and now we're looking to go a little bit deeper. And so we have departure. The high is around here. Okay, we had the slingshot pullback and it left, and price has not been back there, so this might be an interesting place to look at. Give a bit of space there, like so. We'll have a look at that. We'll look at that. So that's at the, let's see if my, that's 6. Put 5 in there. 10.0206. 10.0206. We'll plop that in there. Let's see what happens. Oh, that's a huge stop. And target. Okay. Okay, it's nice and that's fine. We'll leave that in there and see what happens. And then where do you go? Well, we have buy zone-ish here, so we'll leave it in like that. Okay. Actually, looking down, look, the buy zone starts here, so we'll put it there. It'll be quite nice. Cool. We'll leave it at that. We've got a few pairs lined up there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pairs. Okay, so we'll leave. Actually, we'll do one more. We'll do the Kiwi American dollar. Let's have a look. Weekly. Yes, we're entering. We've moved past here. This is a very important area. You can see the slingshot on this move. Price went up, came down, pulled back, and then shot up. So we're there now. It's looking pretty heavy still. So what do we have below that? We have to find fresh buy zones, and we have that here. But we can't see where that is, so we're going to go like this. And remove this. Go here. Okay, so now we need to look closer at this one. Okay, so this is the edge of it. Mosquitoes, blasted mosquitoes. Okay, so we had test, and it's gone. And the area that took it out is here. Okay, the low of the area of demand that took it out is here, and this is the edge. This is where we've already been, so this is gone. So I would be comfortable looking at this area again. Swap long, not bad. I'd be comfortable looking at that. Maybe if we can go to a smaller time frame and have a look. I don't know if we can get that. No, we can't. Bugger. So we're stuck. Oh, MT4. So we can't get any further. But we can look for the micro demand. I mean, this is a really nice release. This is pretty mediocre, but we did have kind of the low here is what caused price to move. If we focus, well, that's a big one. You know what? I'm going to plop that in there. Actually, I'm not going to touch it. That's not a trade I'd normally take, so I'm not going to make an exception this time. I'll leave that and we'll just watch it. Okay. So, but we do have probably a price sensitive level here. If we look for above price, what we have, so we had these two areas. Test. This is gone. The slingshot is here. Then it went through. So the beginning of the sell zone is the high of this one. And it goes up to, I don't know, let's say here. Which just kind of brings my attention to other areas. And I like this one here, actually, just like the way it looks. So I'd be keen on doing something like that. Around here, selling this, 67.02. I'll put that one. I'm more comfortable selling this one here than buying the one down there. So I'll do that. So I'll put that in it. Because I'm such a trading prude, I'm going to put it on the high of the I need to see where the pullback is. Okay. Higher the pullback is here. I'll put it there. A bit higher. Boom. Like that. Like a glove. Okay, 67. 20. Put that in. That is 3. Sell 67.20. 0 67.20. Stop. Target, we don't know yet. It's a 2-to-1 for the time being. Cool. We'll leave it at that for a minute, and then we'll see what happens. Cool. If you have any questions, put them in the forum, and we can look at these positions. Otherwise, have fun.